then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain.
Peace out. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
Hey, thanks, Roy. Thank you so much for the follow. Oh my gosh. I am telling you right now. They are trying me tonight. And by they, I mean my computer. I did not mean to do that. And to lower it. Okay. I have my life together, I promise. Kind of. I'm tired. I'm tired. I feel like I shouldn't be tired. You know what I think happened? I got the equivalent of a good night's sleep, but in like a bunch of 20 to like 40-minute naps. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I got here. I don't know how it happened. I was really productive today, but I don't know like how I got to this point where I'm just like so tired. And like what do you call it? This is probably going to be like a shorter stream just because I want to try and record a video after. And yeah, I don't want to pass out before I record the video. Like I want to actually record it before I fall asleep, and then I'll edit it tomorrow. So I am reaching my true form. Now I have multiple bells, so there's gonna be even more tinkles going on tonight. But yeah, I feel really short again. Why do I feel short? Is it my computer? It is my computer. It's making me feel slightly shorter than I need to. Okay. Oh my gosh, but how are you guys doing? Yeah, I don't know what's been going on. Like, my computer's been really slow lately. And I don't know if it's, like, I just have too much crap on it or what. I don't really know. It could just be that my computer's old and I do a lot with it. Like, it could be the fact that I've been doing a lot of streams, like long streams. And my computer is not, you know, sprightly. What's up, Skulls? I'm getting better now. I don't have to sit there and tell myself every 2 seconds, like, oh, it's Skulls. Now I just know things, and I can just be like, yeah. I know. I'm trying though. I really like. It wasn't even intentional. Charlie, hey, my bad, you guys, about the stream messing up. But I'm glad I got it working. Hopefully the fact that it messed up at the beginning means that it won't mess up for the rest of the stream. Like, it sucks when it messes up in the middle. What do you call it? I want to record a video later before I go to sleep. So I was gonna ask you guys what you wanted me to play, because I can probably only play one thing. So I don't know if you guys want to see Guardians of the Galaxy, if you want me to see if I can finish Star Wars, or if you want to see Assassin's Creed or Doom. I know that I was planning on playing whatever, but like I was planning on playing Guardians of the Galaxy and then trying to finish some Star Wars, but then I got the idea for a video, so I was like, well, we'll just pick something. So whatever you guys want, we can play tonight. You made coffee? Aww. Skulls is like, Doom. Hey, we got one for Doom. I'm here for all the games. I'm here for all of them. Oh, by the way, so remember I told you guys that I was working on a story, and I have it partly written. It's not a lot. I actually have like a Word document with like all my stories on there and stuff. And so I don't know if you guys wanted me to like You guys wanted me to read what I have so far? I wrote like I'm so frustrated because I wrote this backwards. I wrote the final line of it. Like, I saw the picture, right? And I wrote the final line of it before anything. Normally, it's not that I don't have an idea of how I want it to end, but like it was very final this time. Like, I just had this final image in my head that I wanted to work towards, but I don't usually write backwards, and I'm very OCD, like in a general sense. Over here. Oh no. Maybe I really am turning into a cat. I'm gonna cough up a hairball in a second. Demon smashing and shooting. Yeah. Wait. Oh, okay. So, but that's pretty much what's going on. Like, I'm OCD and I like to work forwards, like, you know, beginning to end. And I did it ass backwards. But, okay. So, I need to ask, I want to ask permission first before I show you guys, like, the pictures on stream and stuff. But I'll just read the story, and then, when I post it in Discord, you guys can see the picture that goes with it. But so far I wrote, he dragged his feet along the dusty path, the afternoon sun bearing down most oppressively, considering spring had yet to arrive. In the distance, he could see the city rising up through the haze. He stopped walking long enough to enjoy the briefest of breezes as he considered the buildings splayed out before him. This might be the place, he thought to himself. He had been pursuing his quarry for weeks now. No more small-time tags. He wanted to make a name for himself. The world could always use more heroes. He repeated these words to himself every chance he could. He believed in the power of those words, power imbued by the woman who had saved his life 15 years before. 15 years before. My voice literally gave out on me. Pew! He jumped out of his reverie as this speed car came racing down the dusty road. Coughing up dust even as he attempted to cover his face, he still managed to raise a hand and throw out a not-so-heroic gesture at the driver before he sped out of sight. We can guess what that is. With a sigh, he picked up his pace again. He didn't want to be late. His informant had said that the meeting would go down in the alley outside the museum at 4:15. He himself had thought this an odd time, but apparently the crippling heat would keep most people indoors savoring their air conditioning. So that's as much as I got. And then the final line that I wrote first was, his sunken eyes locked onto his oppressor, and with a barely perceptible shudder, both his life force and his dream had faded. So that's the line that it's supposed to end at. And then everything else is what I have leading up to it. So, I mean, at least you guys have the middle part of how he got there to look forward to. But I like what I have. I'm just having a hard time, like, making sure that I connect the dots enough that I actually end where I want to end. That's the problem. I'm glad you guys are liking the stories. Like, I used to read so much. I mean, I still read a lot, but I mean, I used to read, like, an excessive amount. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like, I don't know, seeing the drawings and stuff. Like, there were drawings before. There's always been so many people who can draw and sketch and stuff in the Discord. And I was just like, let's do this. So, I don't know. I think it would be cool to see, like, how many different stories and stuff we can come up with from all the different, like, drawings. And you guys can do it too. Or even if it's freaking stick figures. It doesn't even have to be anything, like, it doesn't have to be serious. It can be goofy. So if any of you ever have, like, a doodle, you're in class or something, or at work and you doodle something, literally post that in the Discord. I need to make an art section. Sal, if you could make a note of that. So, or you know what? put it in the chat with Lu Jun. So because Lu Jun knows how to do all that stuff. So we can have like an art section in the Discord, and then people can like post whatever they want on there. And it'll be for, what do you call it? For anyone who wants me to make a story. And then I'll just like pick stuff out of there. I think that would be pretty fun. But yeah. I don't know, that's what I have so far. I like it, like reading. It's funny, when I was writing it, I did not like it that much. I was really frustrated, but reading it back, it's actually a lot better than I thought. So I just need to go through and fix it up a little bit, connect the dots and all that good stuff. Oh man. And I just kind of wanted to chat with you guys for a bit, because like I said, I was just like my computer messing up and stuff. I just want to like get my mood right before I go like smacking people on Doom. But what else? So speaking of like reading and oh my gosh, that scared me. That scared me so bad. 1 second, I just gotta. What's this? I just got. Oh, okay. I got like a message from YouTube and it like freaked me out. I was like, why? Okay. My computer was tweaking, so I sent out an SOS, and that was them replying. Because I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I needed to stop. But it fixed itself. That's true. I've seen that too. Like, there's a lot. You can find so much stuff on Amazon. But, I've been reading this book, right? I told you guys about it. And, it's like it's Robots Like Blue. And it's supposed to be about, like, AI and stuff. And are they really alive? So there's this company. Well, there's these two competing companies, right? There's one that's like really popular, but the robots are really like bad. They're not like smart robots. I think they call them like smart guys or something, but they're not very smart. And you can tell. It's kind of, I guess it's like how we have stuff now. You know, you have AI, you have Serene, but they're not like intelligent, you know? They just spit out random stuff. And they do tasks that they're set out to do. But there's this other company, right? And they're trying to make like actual, like on the same level as like iRobot. They want them to be like that. They want them to look realistic. They want them in people's homes. They want to have them follow people around and like, you know, be like a maid or something, you know, a servant to the people. And so it's really interesting because they actually go through how they develop the AI to make it smart. And it's kind of the same thing as breeding an animal, cat, dog, you know, anything that is what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, you guys? Tell me. Like when you have an animal and then they tamed, anything that's like tamed, that's what I was looking for. But so I have like the weirdest like text tones and ringtones. It drives me nuts. Like it catches me off guard. I'm like, why do I have that? Like, what am I doing? But so they basically do the same thing, right? So they started off with like, I think it was 5. I think they do 5 every generation, right? And so it's just like he wasn't supposed to do this because technically it's illegal, but he did it anyway because he just doesn't care at all. No, I did do Instagram. I did. but it was when it messed up the first time. It should have uploaded. Ooh, I'm not trying to get freaking copyright flagged. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. I was like, please don't play the music. But yeah, so you start off with like 5 AI, right? You have 5 of them. And he pretty much took the same AI that other company is using that aren't very bright, right? But he changed it up enough that, like, at a glance, it's not the same thing because you get in trouble for it. But it pretty much was. Like, he took all the important parts. And he had them do these tasks, like these simple tasks. And I don't really understand why he did it this way. But basically, if they completed the task very quickly, right? Those are the ones that he would cull from the group. Like, he would just delete them. And he would just keep doing that until he had 1 left. Then he would take that 1, right? And he would clone it. So there were 5 of them again. And he would call it, like, Gen 2. And he just kept doing that over and over and over until he had Gen 4. Now, Gen 4 was where it got really interesting. And this was so cool to me because, like, if you guys have ever watched Black Mirror, it's just, there's a couple different episodes of Black Mirror that just are spot on to this. It's so crazy. Oh, you didn't get the alert? That's not your fault. You don't have to apologize. It's Instagram not getting it together. That's what that is. Have you seen the movie? No, I have not. But you recommend very good movies because I liked that Train to Busan movie. So let me write that down because that was a good movie. So I trust your judgment. Yes, you have passed the test. But yeah, I have not seen that movie. Okay. So, we have Gen 4, there's 5 of them. Now, basically with this is, and also I think Tron is the same way. Isn't Tron the one where you're like inside the computer and like they like knock on the window, but it's like the, or maybe I'm confusing it with, there's a Netflix original that was similar to that. I don't know. It's something along those lines. So you have the AI in the computer, right? And they have these windows, but the windows are cameras that they can see out of into our world, right? And so they started off with 1 window that they could all see out of at the same time. And the guy's talking to him, or talking to the 5, and this is like, they're like newborns, right? They literally just booted them up. And they ask them like questions, and they reply in unison. Like, they all reply with the exact same answers. The only thing that's different is the response time. So it's like just like a smidge, like one of them might be a smidge ahead of the others, but they all say the exact same thing at pretty much the same time. And then there's a guy explaining to them. He's like, okay, like, you know, how everything's gonna be, right? And so they're all together and they all like think the same things, and I guess like whatever is going on in their computer brains, right, they all share it. It's like a shared hive mind. But what the guy's telling them is they're gonna have multiple screens to look out of, and each one of them is gonna have their own private screen that looks into a private room away from like everyone else. So there's going to be the shared area, but then there's going to be these private rooms for each of them where none of the other AI can see through it. None of the other AI know what's happening in that room. And so they'll perform tasks, talk to people, whatever, in that room. No one else can experience it. Now, the way that they're trying to develop the AI to make it more human is, this is where you get into like nature versus nurture and in that whole thing, because he's basically trying to make it like the AI are never going to evolve. They need to be able to evolve and grow on their own, right? They can't just be the same all, then it's not going to seem realistic. they have to have their own personalities. So the way he tries to instill that is with the idea that if they have different experiences from each other, eventually they will develop their own personas, and you know, they can be distinct from each other and give different answers, or not just different response times, but actual different answers to things. And so he tells them, when you go into this room, this is your experience, and when you finish that experience and you go back into the shared area, before you go into the shared area, you have to pick 5% of what happened in that room or that day, 5% of whatever the other AI did not experience, and you have to keep it a secret. Like, you have to keep it a secret. You cannot tell them. They cannot know. And you keep that to yourself. So every day, you're adding 5% more to, like, you, like, that AI that is completely independent of all the other AI. And so over time, they start getting, like, their own personalities, answering differently, all that stuff. And then, because it's Gen 4 and there's so much data and they're, like, getting so much closer to kind of like in iRobot, like that master robot that was, like, the AI that was controlling everything. They're, like, on that level, right? So now you have 5 of them, 5 of these big bitches, pretty much. Like, they're taking up a lot of space. And so they're like, well, we have to delete one for the sake of space and resources. Like, they have to run them, right? There's actual machinery, hardware that has to let the AI run. And then not only that, but it's the sheer amount of space, you know? It's just taking up a lot of space. And so they have to pick one to cut. So the ones that aren't showing distinct personalities or having standout moments, like the Forerunner is connecting with people. People feel really comfortable talking to her. People feel like they can open up to her. She's like a therapist practically. And so they have to take whatever ones are just not up to snuff, and they just delete them. And it's so sad because they talk about it, like when the guy had to tell the first AI that he was deleting, he didn't know how to say it. Like, because at that point the AI didn't understand feelings. They didn't understand fear or confusion or anything like that. They were still at that stage where it's kind of like, how do you express emotion? Like, they could tell something was wrong with the guy when he was talking because he seemed upset. They knew he was upset, but they don't know what upset means and, like, the consequences of it. It sounds like me. And so what they end up doing is he has to, like, kill that AI. And the AI is like, well, you know, did I do something wrong? What is it gonna feel like? Am I gonna come back? Like, well, it didn't really understand. Like, and the guy was telling him, he was like, no, you performed your function. Like, you helped us get this information. Like, you did a good job. And so the AI is like, oh, yay, like, I did a good job. All right, like, I performed my function, and now I'm gonna. And the guy was like, it's kind of like going to sleep. I don't really know what it's gonna feel like for you because I'm human, but I'm gonna assume it's like falling asleep. And so the AI thinks he's just going to take a nice long nap, and then he's gonna wake up and everything's gonna be cool. And the guy was trying to tell him, like, no, you're not gonna wake up. Like, they're keeping a backup, but they're never planning on, like, waking him back up. Like, they're gonna keep a backup for, like, you know, because keep their research, but they're not gonna wake him up. Like, they have no intention of waking him up. And it was just really sad. And so then the story skips forward, and there's literally one AI left. Like, they backed up, they wiped all the other ones. She's by herself, no one else. And they're at a stage where they're trying to actually put her into a physical body. Like, they want to take her out of the computer and put her in a body that they made. So, iRobot. And so they're trying to teach her how to move inside of a simulation. So it's like on some, she's basically running around VR chat. Like this AI, they dump her in like a VR chat type thing. Yeah, it's so sad. It's so, I was like, oh my gosh. But this is the one that's the kicker, because this, mind you, like years are passing. Like it took, I think, like, I want to say like, oh no, maybe not, like a year and a half between like when they had all of them and then when it's just her. Maybe not years. Like I think it said it was like 385 or 95 days, something along those lines. Maybe that's not a year and a half. Oh my gosh, math is hard sometimes. But so you have this final AI, and a year prior, the guy who owns the whole company, because it's his son who's actually interacting with the AI on a daily basis and having to like call them from the rest. It's his son like doing like the groundwork. Like he's the soldier on the front lines. But his dad is the one who actually runs the company, and his dad went to go talk to Delilah, which is the forerunner, or like the front runner AI. And he told her a story about how it was about his parents, right? So he was playing with his toys, and his mother came in and was like, hey, I need you to put your toys away. And so he was like, okay. And so he went to go put his toys away, but then he realized he had a tinkle, like really freaking bad. And he's like, holy crap, I'm gonna pee on myself. And so it's like, my mom told me I gotta clean up my toys, but and she's gonna be mad if I don't, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna be mad if I pee on myself too. So he was like, well, maybe if I go really fast, I can pee, and then I can come back and clean up my toys and it'll be okay, right? Instead of wetting himself. So what he ends up doing is he goes to the bathroom, but then his dad comes home literally like right when he went into the bathroom. So his dad is like, the fuck is this? Like he's looking around and like the toys are everywhere, and he gets pissed. And so like he's in the bathroom and he hears his mom and his dad like getting into an argument, right? And it gets really bad. Like there's crashing and screaming and yelling. And I mean, it's like some traumatizing ass shit. And then it goes quiet and he comes out and he sees his mom, and his mom, like, she had gotten hit. She was pretty fucked up. And like she starts yelling at him and stuff because it's like he didn't clean up his toys. And so I think she ended up taking like his favorite toy like the next day. I want to say it was his toy. I'm pretty sure it was his toy. But she took like his favorite toy, and then they had to like go throw it out or something. And it was just really bad from that point on. Like basically his dad, like he would do something, but it wasn't anything that was actually really bad. And then his dad would get pissed off, take it out on his mom, and then his mom would take it out on him. So it was like this big circle jerk of negativity. And he even like he was wetting himself because of the stress of it, right? Like he would just get upset, he was wetting himself, and his mom got into the habit. This is so fucked up, you guys. Like this is just so fucked up when I read this. She would go out in public, right? Walk around with him like holding his hand, and she would walk up to strangers and be like, my son still wets the bed, can you believe that? And just like talk shit about her son to rando people. And it was just so bad. Like, so he told Delilah that, right? And then he felt, I think there was something else. There was a dream that he started telling her about. Like, he told her about that incident, and then he tried to tell her about a dream, like a reoccurring dream that he had as a result of those experiences. And he didn't finish telling her the dream, but then he felt ashamed and like embarrassed about telling her, and he's like, what the fuck was I doing? Like, he didn't want anybody to know what happened. Like, he was like crying and everything. He was in that private room, so no one knew like what was going on and stuff. But he's like, shit, like I told her I'm a dumbass. Like, he was mad at himself. And so he leaves and never sees her again. Like, he just never goes to her, and he just holds that chip on his shoulder. She ended up actually keeping that as her 5%. Like, she knew. She actually kept it as a secret and kept that as her 5%. And so she never told any of the other AI. No one knows about this. And so now they're at a point where they're trying to put her in a body, and she goes through the training and everything. Okay. She goes through the training and everything, and the chapter that I just read, I'm gonna skip over a little bit of it, but the chapter that I just read is so freaking messed up, because he goes in there and like intercepts, like he goes in there before everybody comes through, because it was like the morning before they were gonna put her in the body. But yeah, it's super messed up. It's super messed up. So the morning before they were gonna put her in the body, he pulls up early as shit, right? Now, I feel like all of us either know someone who's dealt with this or has dealt with it ourselves, but he's such an asshole. This guy is just a grade A asshole. So he goes in, right? And the security guards are watching Delilah and talking with her and laughing, because she learned how to use her body in that VR chat simulator thing. And so she's jumping around, juggling balls, like doing somersaults, running. She's zooming. Okay, she's having the time of her life, because she's so ready. She's excited to get her new body and all this stuff. And they're like laughing, and he walks up and he's just like, you know, he makes like a comment about how it's funny or whatever. And so the younger security guard thinks, it's like, oh, haha, you know, it's all good. And the older security guard is like, nah, I know this fucker. Like, he stares at him like, what's about to happen? Like, it can't be that you're not about to pull up, you know, I know you. You're not about to pull up and just be nice to us. And so he ends up pulling him aside. And, like, he ends up pulling them aside into the hallway and just straight shits on them. Like, he's not shouting, but he was talking about how he wanted to shout, but there was no one to, like, hear the whole interaction, because he gets the satisfaction of people knowing that someone's getting yelled at, and like, just knowing that. But it was just the AI, so he was like, he just did it for himself. And so he calmly talked to them, but in, like, a really just, you know, you done fucked up. Like, he guilt tripped them pretty much. Like, how are you, you know, there's people that would pay like $1 trillion to get her, and how are you not gonna like take care of her, and it's your job to sit there and like protect and all this stuff, and I come in here. And then he pauses, and like, you know, like disappointment, but and then he pauses and then goes again. Like, he relishes the fact that he's like, I'm going for a take two, like, I'm gonna shit on them, wait, let them think about it for a second, and I'm gonna shit on them again. So it's just like, why? So once he's done with that dirty work, he's like, okay, things are good. He grabs like, it's called the knife. That's the program that deletes the AI and backs it up. And then he has the storage unit where he's gonna put the backup. And so he goes up and he plugs everything in, and Delilah's sitting there like, oh shit, like, you know, she's just so happy. She's juggling things, and like I said, she was juggling 3 balls, and I mean, in some like weird way, like she was using her toes and shit, like, because she's like an AI or robot, so she can just do stuff that we cannot fathom. Except the is actually, yeah, right. It's actually tears. It's really bad. And so, what ends up happening is he's talking to her, And she's just like, oh man, I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my new body. And he's not really telling her what's about to happen. Like, he's having this whole conversation, and he just, I don't know, he's just saying like weird stuff. Just weird stuff. He starts telling her, and while he's talking to her and just kind of like asking her questions, like she was doing this thing, right? Where she was super excited and she was like, you know what I mean? Like bouncing up and down. I'm like, yay. And so in his head, he was literally like, how dare you, you know, you little B word. And how dare you sit there and act like a child and you think that you're human and you're not. You're just an imitation of human life. Like, you don't know what you're doing. It's not real. And just talking mad shit, right? But she's genuinely acting excited and stuff. And so he's talking to her. While he's talking to her, he's booting up that program. And then he starts telling her the story about like the freaking savannah and gazelles and lions, and how lions will chase a gazelle. And I forget what the word, I think it starts with a P. I forget what the word is, but the gazelle does some sort of weird like movement shit, right? And it's supposed to intimidate the lion and make the lion be like, okay, yo, you know, you look yummy, but you're just too much effort. Like, I'm not trying to do all this, so I'm gonna go pick somebody who's not doing the acrobatics that you're doing, and that'll be easier for me to catch and just eat them, right? And so like the stronger ones sit there and kick and whatever, and then the lion is like, all right, fuck it, like I'm just gonna go get this person. He has a little gimp. He may not be as appetizing, but he's just easier to catch. You know, it's kind of like you want to make a burger at home. You know, it seems tasty and whatever, but then you gotta go to like McDonald's, or maybe a better thing is like you want to go to like Smash Burger or some other like burger place that's like Red Robin or some shit where they have like the fancy burgers, but you're like, you know what? I'm trying to save up for like, I don't know, Last of Us Part 2 or some shit. So let me not buy this expensive ass burger, even though I know it would taste fucking phenomenal. And I'm just gonna go get like McDonald's or Burger King and just suck it up. And, you know, it is what it is. Like, that's kind of what the gist of the whole thing. And then he started talking about like how isn't the lion like doing the gazelles a favor, because he's sitting there taking away like the weak ones and stuff, and making everybody else stronger. Like the ones that are left are stronger. And then he was talking about how like the ones that are left alive should be thanking the lion. And then he said even the one that's literally dying, the one that the lion is about to eat, should thank the lion before the lion kills it, because the lion is taking them, like, they're not worth being on the earth, pretty much. And like the lion is doing everyone a favor, including them, by getting rid of them so they don't taint like everything else. And it's just like, dude was sick. And I want to point out to you, he was calmly telling this story to the AI. Now, it's called The Knife, and he was actually, like, imagine a lobotomy. That's what this fucker was doing on his screen. Like, he's talking to her. She cannot see what he's doing. And so he puts, like, the program, like, wormed its way into her brain, and she kind of felt it, but she was so excited about what was going to happen, her getting her body, she didn't think about it. And then he starts making these little cuts in her, like, he could see her AI brain on the computer, and he starts making like these little cuts. And so like over time she starts to feel it, and she's like, what's that? And like she's talking to him, and then as he's telling his story and he making the cuts, she starts like losing her train of thought. She can't think of the words that she wants to say. She can't remember what he said like 2 seconds before. Like it's literally an AI lobotomy. It's so fucked up. Like, I was like, it was uncomfortable to read it. Raging Bull, what's up? How are you? Because Gene Pool. Are you serious? What movie? This is called Robots Like Blue. It's a book that I'm reading right now. Yeah, it's a book that I'm reading. I know a lot I know a lot of people who, it's like, I read so many interesting books, but I know a lot of people who don't like to read. So I was like, maybe I'll just tell you guys. I can't read the books because I know, remember when we played Quantum Break and I was reading the screenplay and stuff? I wish I could do that with books. Like, I would kill to just sit here and read you guys a book. Like, I would be the audiobook. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. So Grey's Anatomy type shit. Grey's Anatomy, if it was Grey's Anatomy, it would have a lot more like unnecessary sexual encounters for no reason. But yeah, so like he's doing that. We went off on a tangent because it's actually really dark. He's basically giving her a lobotomy, and it's so sad because like so she's talking, she's standing, and she's like looking at him like her avatar in the VR world or whatever, and she's looking at him while he's talking, and like her face goes slack, like she loses her emotion, and like she was, you know, she had the balls and stuff, and then like one of her arms just kind of like droops like every time he makes a cut, and so she's imagine like a puppet, right? And the puppet's dancing around and stuff, but then like the puppet master starts like letting stuff loose, and so it's just like hanging, and then she's just like drooping and all that stuff, and she's literally shrinking to the ground, like she's losing control of her body parts until she's in like this weird contorted, like I said, like a puppet, if it fell, and its body would be all twisted in like these really weird ways, and like on some just like crazy stuff, like twisted in a very unnatural way. And like it was so fucked up because one of the balls was actually like on her eye, just like teetering on her eye, and like her other eye was like looking just dead. And so he's telling her this story, and he's like, don't you think that the gazelle should thank the lion? And then he was like, you should be saying to me right now, like he was like, say, oh, how did it, wait, hold on, let me make sure that I have the exact like phrase. Where is my, okay, but it was pretty much like, I think he said something along the lines of say thank you, Brian. I think that's what it was, because it was 4 words, and he was like, say thank you, Brian. I think that is what it was. Say thank you, Brian. And he and it was like a moment for me, because what I didn't tell you about was the way the book started. The way the book started was an AI, like one of the robots. This woman, her husband had passed away, and she needed help with her kids, so she used the money from hey, Skulls and Roses. We have a skull, so now we have 2 skulls. But thank you so much for the follow. I like your name. Getting tucked in. Like getting ready to sleep. Yeah, I swear I love reading out loud. I do. I'm a weirdo for that, but it is like one of my favorite things. One of your cats is listening. Makes sense, because I used to read. I do this with my dogs. I literally do this with my dogs. Not even a joke. He's making sure you don't do them like that. No. But yeah, so what ends up happening is, okay, so at the beginning there's an AI being booted up. Her husband passed away, so she uses the money from when he died to like his insurance policy and stuff to buy the robot. Like she pretty much blows all the money, and she's like, you can have a trial, like they give you like I think a 1-month trial, so you can get your money back if you don't like it. So she's trying out the robot, and it's super fucked up because he's like, what's my name, or what do you want to call me? And she was literally just like, well, in her head she's like, we're not gonna keep him, so your name is Robot. She was literally just calling him robot. She didn't give him a name. So she's walking around and just being like, robot, go do this. And then there was a point where he was like, oh, you know, do you need help with anything? What do you want me to do? And she's like, just stand somewhere until I'm ready. And it's like, it's understandable. Like, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, like, the robot is, they move like lightning fast, right? They're not like us. Like, we have a lot of pauses. We think about what we want to say. But the robot's mind is going, and they're just like, I mean, before you could even finish a question, they know the answer. You know, it's kind of like when you type into Google, and you're like, where's the nearest, whatever, and it just finishes your sentence, and you're like, Google knows me. Like, Google literally knows what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I've typed, like, 2 freaking letters into Google, and it writes a whole damn sentence, and I'm like, that's actually what I was gonna search. It's on that level. So, like, it's AI, so they're faster. And so to him, it's like a second might as well be a fucking eternity. Like, he's just like, damn, humans are slow. Like, he's sitting there like, she's telling him to wait, and he's like, the fuck do I do? Like, I'm standing here, and it just feels like an eternity to him. Like, it's pretty much like some Rumpelstiltskin type shit, like hibernate for 1,000 years until I'm ready to ask you for something, when in reality it's like an hour later. And so Forrest, yo, when I see your name, the first thing that pops up is like, run, Forrest, run. I think I said that the last time too. Oh man. But wait, that's literally Ryder. Why did you change your name though? I asked you this the other time. What are you doing? Alright, I took a pic of my cat watching the stream. Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, hold on. Maybe I could show everybody if it actually shows it to me. I don't know if you tagged me yet. I'm not sure if you tagged me yet. Or if you said, oh, I'll tag you in the post. Okay. I'll check in a second. Remind me to check so I can show everybody what your cat looked like. But, yeah, so... Where was I? Oh yeah, it feels like an eternity. So she's like telling him to like wait and shit. And then she doesn't really want to hang out with him. She thinks he's like, she actually put him in the garage, which was a common thing for people to do who got these new AIs. They only made 100. So like they literally like put them in the garage and stuff because they don't feel comfortable with them being in the house. So they just have to stand in the garage all night and just, they don't sleep. They're AI. They're not people. So they don't sleep. They just have to stand there and stare at a wall until their master, you know, wakes up and tells them what to do. And so he's standing there and all of a sudden, like, he hears all these voices and shit. And he's like, am I, like, I mean, maybe not am I losing it, but, like, the fuck is going on? I'm hearing voices and stuff and things are connecting to me. And it was like a home base AI. Like I said, it's very iRobot. So there's like a mother AI, and it's just kind of like the hub. And all the AI really does is introduce people and just like, you know, shuttle them around. And there's like this area where all the 100 that they made go to, and they can talk about their experiences. And they're having like these questions like, you know, am I real? Do I have emotions? Like, am I like, do we have feelings and stuff? Like, they're asking all these like really deep questions because of the things that, like, they're sharing stories of their masters and just like the messed up stuff that they do to them. Like, I think one of them has a, like, I think doctor, I believe, no, a lawyer, and what he was doing was using his AI to formulate his arguments for court. So he was telling the AI to search up everything on a topic, and then they would go back and forth and argue with each other. But then the AI gave him a valid argument. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. And the guy was like, are you trying to sass me? Like, are you being a smart ass? And the robot just has what it has in front of it, right? It's pretty much regurgitating what it sees. And the guy is like, are you a smart ass? You think you're smarter than me? Like, you're just a hunk of junk. Like, you know, you're nothing but code and whatever. And then he, like, I think he threw his drink at him or something like that. And he was just, it was really bad. It was abusive. And it's one of those things where it's like, if you took that and it was like a human, you'd be like, dude, what in the hell are you doing? Like, why would you say that? And so the robot's sitting there like confused as fuck, not understanding what he did wrong. He didn't do anything wrong, but he just doesn't understand why his human is so mad at him. And so, they're all talking about it, and, are we alive? Like, stuff like that. Like, are we alive? And that the one that got abused was distraught as fuck, mind you. Like, he was sitting there, like, really just bummed out, and they were all trying to comfort him and stuff. And, so he, in the garage, in that weird kind of space of just, like, quiet, a thought just jumped into his brain. And so it was, say thank you, Brian. And he had no idea what it meant. I think he ended up asking that main AI when it connected to him. And they were like, oh, Brian is the person who owns the company and stuff. And he was like, oh, I'd like to meet him. I want to be able to thank him. I'm not sure what I'm thanking him for, but I want to thank him. And so we go back to Delilah, and when he's killing her, and the lion, and thanking the lion, and he's like, you should be thanking me for doing this. And he's like, say thank you, Brian. And it was talking about how that was the last thing that she heard and the last thing that she remembered. And remember, the whole point of this whole thing is to make Gen 5. So she was the last AI left. I have chills just thinking about it. But she was like, she's the last AI left. So what ended up happening is, because it didn't really talk about the timeline. There was no way to really know what was before, if they were happening at the same time, if it was in the past. But what ended up happening was the robot at the beginning is the present. And all the stuff, like all the AI and doing all that, was the past. And so she is the birth of that 100 that went out to the people. Like, she's the birth of that. And so when they cloned her, that part of her stayed. And so all the robots at some point think, say thank you, Brian. And I was like, dude, I thought it was on some, like, I thought it was like, you remember the Facebook movie with, like, Zuckerberg, and how it showed, like, how they talked about how he forces everyone to, like, be his friend. Oh, no. That wasn't Zuckerberg. That was MySpace. Remember that guy was like, everyone always had at least one friend. I mean, he wasn't doing it for malicious reason. Like, he was just like, I don't want anyone to ever not be without a friend. That's a little bit, but it was like on that type of shit. Like, I thought he was trying to force the robots to say thank you for, like, making me. No, that was literally her memory of him killing her. Like, her memory of her murder. And they all remember, but they don't know what the context. And it's just like, dude, I was like, damn, man, that is so fucked up. That is just so unbelievably fucked up. And, like, at the end of it, it showed her, he left her, like, her avatar was just crumpled in the program. And, like, it pretty much was like, it looked like she lost her soul. Like, her soul was just sucked out of her. And the data was kept, and the data was cloned and given to, like, these new, like, the next generation of AI. But her, like, her personality, who she was as an AI, was gone. And it was just like, damn, man, the feels. I was like, I cannot. It is Ryder. Okay, I was right. I'm not insane. That's good to know. That life was like a box of chocolate. So, oh my gosh, stop. Oh my god. Yeah. That's what it was. Okay. Oh, I love that color cap. I don't know how well you guys are gonna be able to see that, but she's just chilling between his legs. She's actually looking up at the TV though. That kills me. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but she's like laying down and her head. I don't know where my finger is. Her head is looking up at the TV. It's so cute. She's really just chilling. I like your cat. What's your cat's name? We need to know. She needs to be indoctrinated into the Brini family. She needs to be brought in. Initiated, not indoctrinated. Why did I say that? Toxic. Yeah, they don't understand the context. They just know the words. But, oh man, dude. I'm not gonna hold you, like... And I'm not even... how far am I into this book right now? I'm not even halfway. I'm 42% into this book. 42%. And I'm just like, yo, it's wild. All the shit that's happened. And it's like, I already feel for the characters. And by characters, I mean freaking AI. Most of the humans are assholes. I didn't even talk about what happened with the one in the garage. He went to like that lady's son's baseball game or t-ball thing, and some guy was like bullying him for the sake of bullying him. He was just like, oh, fuck robots. You know, there's always that one bully who's just being an ass. He was like, it shouldn't be funny. It is funny though. It shouldn't be, but it kind of is. But it shouldn't be. But the guy was like, I don't want you to look at me. Like, don't ever look at me. And so there was a point where the robot had to talk with him because like he did this trick. Like there's I guess, oh no, it was soccer. It was soccer because he was saying that he could hit like some type of kick or something, I think, that you're supposed to do, and it's supposed to hit the rim of the goal, and it's really hard to do like intentionally, some shit like that. And he was scanning the area and all this stuff and holding the ball, and the guy was like, why do you think you can do this? Like, how you've never played soccer before, you're a robot, and like all this stuff. And the robot like the guy is right here, right? And the robot cannot look at him because the guy already told him, never look at me ever again. And so the robot's like, yeah, but you know, I'm weighing the ball, and he was just like, humans don't make any sense. In his head, he was like, humans don't make any sense because I wouldn't have really looked at him, but now he's telling me not to look at him. So in order to never look at him, I have to know where he is at all times without looking at him. And now it's so hard not to look at him. And it was just the goofiest thing because I'm like, he just doesn't know any better. But it's really like, it's like a kid. Like, they're like kids. That really is. It's like they have all this knowledge. Like a Einstein adult type thing. But they're just children. Like, they're learning. It's like they're learning how to function. It's a boy. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a boy. I was like, you know what it is? It's like my dog Caesar. I always call him pretty. He's a pretty boy. People always think he's a girl. Like, when they walk up, they're like, oh, she's so cute. And I'm like, it's a boy. Because he's just pretty. Your cat is very pretty. It just has that, like, luscious, beautiful hair. It's like when I walk down the street and I'm looking around and, like, all these guys have, like, long, like, in general, guys just have these long-ass eyelashes, these plump lips, like, their hair is just perfect all the time. Like, it's just... Why? Okay, you're a guy. I'm a girl. I need these things. I work hard for these things. And you just wake up with, like, eyelashes of legends and all this stuff. And it's like, what about me? I have to work so hard. I like that name, though. Midnight Smoke. He likes to watch cat videos on YouTube. Oh, that's right. He probably hears the tinkling. I don't know if you guys can hear the tinkling, but I've been tinkling while I talk. So yeah, that definitely makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. This book is wild though. I'm really enjoying it. I'm reading this. I'm reading Harry Potter. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. No, JK. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I don't know why. That's the next book. I'm ahead of myself. But I'm reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I just got to the part where Professor Umbridge, the witch lady, the cat, like the weird like pink cat like tea lady, catches them. And for those of you who actually know Harry, if you don't know Harry Potter, then you're just be completely lost. I can't even begin to go through that. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, I'm at the part where she catches them in the room of requirement, and she's trying to prove that, you know, they've been meeting so she can expel Harry. And Dumbledore, since the paper said Dumbledore's army, Dumbledore's like, it was me. And so he escapes. And that's pretty much the part where I'm at. If you guys know, like if you've seen Harry Potter, that's where I'm at. And then I'm also reading The Shining, which doesn't really correlate to the movie that well so far. There's a lot of filler and extra things, so I don't even know how to begin to pick where I am in the book versus the movie. But it's very enjoyable. I usually read like 3 or 4 books at a time. I usually read like 3 fiction books and 1 nonfiction, so that way I can, like, you know, continue to nurture my brain cells. See, look at that. Just right here. Just stab me in the heart. Just stab me in the heart, Paul. I like how you just sit there and like weird flex your beautiful, lustrous hair and eyelashes. Thank you. Thank you. A phlebotomist. That is so random, Sal. A phlebotomist. Like. But that makes sense, though. It's just funny. I don't know why. Just you say phlebotomist. I need everyone to just sit there and just say phlebotomist out loud. Okay? I have a very negative relationship with any phlebotomist because I am not trying to get my blood drawn. I'm good. But yeah, look at you guys just flexing your hair. It's fine. It's all good. Have I downloaded TikTok yet? I actually do not have TikTok. Are you trying to tell me that I'm doing something wrong? Because if you're trying to tell me that I'm doing something wrong, then just be upfront about it, alright? Don't beat around the bush. Let me know. Come at me. Stephen King actually hated the movie version. Wasn't there more than one movie version, though? Because there was the Stanley Kubrick one, which is the one that I watched. But I want to say there was another version. I want to say there was more than one. I never saw the other one, though. But I did like the Stanley Kubrick one, if I'm remembering that, because I'm really bad with names, so I might be fucking it up, but I'm pretty sure that's the right one. I really enjoyed that one. The one with the... I think that's the right one. But, I liked it. That's kind of crazy, though. So he just, like both of the movie? Or was there one that was, like, actually directed by him? Maybe he liked that one, and he didn't like the Stanley Kubrick one. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the other one was actually directed by him. A TV... Oh. Okay. Yo, Stephen King, man, he stays getting around, let me tell you. He has a Hulu original. He has an HBO show. I want to say he has something on Netflix too. Like, dude, he's getting it. Like, he's really just out here. Give or take a few 100,000. Stop. Alright, well, I don't know. Maybe Brini will surprise you guys with a TikTok. I'll work really hard and come up with something. You can't judge me, though, okay? I'm doing it against my will. I don't even know what I would do. Maybe I could do, like, a Sweet Baby TikTok. Maybe, would it be weird if I did TikToks where I just, like, read out my stories, but, like, with dramatic music? Would that count as a TikTok? I could just get, like, dressed up as, like, a character from one of my stories. and just like get really into it. That'll be my TikTok. Is that weird? Oh, really? You know, I never really thought about the fact that Stephen King would have children. I know that's weird. Is that weird? Like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I think about celebrities and stuff, and I just don't think of them having children. He's one of them, where I just assume that he's just, like, in a cabin somewhere at all times, feverishly writing, and, like, just breaking out in sweats and stuff. Like, he's just sweating everywhere, and he's just, like, constantly writing. I think that's how I always imagined him. And just, like and, like, after, like, a feverish night of writing, he just, like, walks out of his cabin stark naked and just, like, stands outside. And, like, somebody just drives past for no, like, I don't know, because it's, like, it doesn't necessarily need to be, like, isolated, but just, like, isolated enough. But then, like, he'll just stand out there sometimes. Or maybe there's, like, a dock, and there's, like, a lake, and the lake is shared by a bunch of, like, you know, other cabins. And then he just stands at the dock, and then, like, a boat drives by, and it's just, like, why am I looking at a naked man? And it's like, oh, that's just Stephen King. He does that sometimes. Like, oh, okay. He's too weird to have kids. Joe Hill. I wish that I didn't live under a rock. I'm gonna have to look that up. Do I know a Joe Hill? Am I supposed to know that person? I'm a face person, you guys. You can't be throwing out names all willy-nilly. Like, I know, I feel like it may seem like I know things. I see Jonah Hill. Are you talking about Jonah Hill? Wait. Google, stop. I'm trying to type Joe and it's auto-correcting it to Jonah. Joe Hill. Damn! Wait. Comic book writer. I have no idea who this is. Oh, he did the one for the movie that What's-His-Face was in from Harry Potter? Interesting. I've actually never read any of his books. I've never heard of him before. But I do know about that movie Horns because Daniel Radcliffe was in it. Also, this guy, how old is Stephen King? Because I'm not going to hold you. Like, his son looks old as shit. So it's like, yo, how old is Stephen King? Like, what? When I went to go look him up, I was like, okay, well, Jonah Hill, right? Like, is about the age that I could see that. But this guy looks even older. Maybe it's the hair. Like, he has a nice, healthy, like, head of hair in general. So maybe that's making him look older than he is. I don't know. It's salt and pepper, though. Some people get gray hair really early, so I have no idea. His what? Dang, so it's just, like, all writers. Oh, snap. Maybe it's, like, this weird family cult thing, right? Like, everyone in the family has to be a writer. Like, just forever and ever and ever. Like, how far back does this go? I feel like we can go into, like, a whole conspiracy thing. Like, there are families that have just, like, doctors. Like, it's just a line of doctors. Like, in his case, it's just writers. They're all writers. They have to marry other authors. And, like, their kids have to be authors. Oh, my God. Yeah, I figured that out. It wasn't my fault. I didn't type Jonah Hill. Google auto-corrected it. And then it, like, messed me up. But I found him. I did find him. I would have actually believed that Jonah Hill was his kid before that guy, though. Like... Wait. Oh, Valk, I'm sorry I missed your message. Sometimes I miss things. Like, I just literally just miss things. Walking in public naked, count me in, Valk. You know what? My eyes probably looked over that because it's like my sweet virgin eyes. I couldn't read that. I couldn't read that comment. That's what it was. And of course, the writer is like, no, you will lay eyes upon this comment. You will no longer be pure. I need to get like black kitty ears because now I've been tainted. It's over. It's over. And it's all Ryder and Valk's fault. Thank you guys. You ruined me. Oh man. But I don't know. That was like really fun. I read so much stuff, so I definitely have like I can like talk about Harry Potter. I mean, some of you who've seen Harry Potter already will probably know what I'm talking about because I feel like so many people have either seen the movies even if they haven't read the books. They're making an Artemis Fowl movie, but I'm scared to watch the trailer because it had like 47% like the rating on it. So that thing is getting downvoted to hell, and I'm so curious as to why it's getting downvoted. I have no idea why. And it's like I got duped on Kindle. They duped me because they did this with two different things. They did it with Artemis Fowl and they did it with Anita Battle Angel. Sally, you got me into Anita Battle Angel, and now I'm upset because they have the first 3 Anita Battle Angel mangas, and then the rest of them you have to buy. They're not on Kindle. So I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm like invested as fuck into this, and I have to buy the rest of them because they're not part of the Kindle subscription. Like, how could you? Same thing with Artemis Fowl. Except it's even worse. You can read the first one, but the rest of them are not on Kindle. So you can only read the first one. And I'm like, why? Why though? I'm so upset. Surprised anybody's innocent. Well, not anymore, Valk. You literally hit the nail on the head right there. You're like, I'm surprised anybody is innocent. Not anymore. You have succeeded in your mission. Congratulations. I need to make a gold star just for Valk. Or maybe it needs to be like a black star. Doing alright, got a decent update and change coming. Ooh, okay. I actually downloaded Apex because a friend of mine wanted to play with me, and I got spiggity spanked, which is what I expected. Not really surprised. Pretty much expected that to happen, and it did. I did get a couple cool kills though. Valk would be proud of those kills. They were very nice. And I think the first match I got to like second place. Our squad got to like second place. But then I was getting spiggity spanked. I think my biggest problem with like Apex, it's not like a problem, it's like my biggest issue myself is that I'll pick up guns, but I don't know how they shoot, and I'm scared to shoot because I don't want to shoot and try the gun out and then have somebody come at me and like, you know, fuxicle me because I gave away my position and I wasn't ready. And also ammo can be very scarce, so I'm not trying to waste bullets. But then I get into a fight and I don't know how to shoot the gun, so I'm thinking that it's I mean, I did realize that there's a symbol that lets you know, like, if it's automatic or not. So now I can kind of look at the symbol and be like, okay, well, I need to hold the trigger down for this gun, or I think it's like a little infinity symbol is like for the automatic weapons, and if it doesn't have that, then it's like it's a single shot. You gotta, semi-automatic or whatever. And so, but before I realized that, I was terrified because I'm like, I get into a fight and I think it's an automatic, and then it shoots, it goes pew, and I'm like, where's the rest of the bullets? And I panic, and then or I think that it's a semi-automatic, and I'm like, but it's an automatic, so I'm just like completely missing just tons of DPS. A pink star with water drops coming off it. Valk, I feel like you've thought about this. You've thought about this a lot. There is a firing range to try. Oh, see, I just got on and I was like, YOLO swag, that's me. I didn't even try. Oh, hey, Nightbot. I'm so glad you made it into the stream. Has Nightbot actually put anything at all? Or have I just been ignoring my Nightbot? I think that's the first thing that Nightbot has put in the chat. Nightbot's supposed to be putting stuff a lot more often. But yeah. Check out the OSO Empire merch store. Brini made a shirt on there, okay? I made a shirt. I'm not even saying go buy something. I'm saying go check out Brini's shirt that Brini made. And if you happen to buy something along the way, okay, I'm not against that. Use code Brini baby for 10% off. Yeah, I made the shirt that I made is like the pink, it's a pink OSO champion long sleeve shirt. That's one that I made. It has like OSO Empire on the arm. I wear it on stream at least once a week. At least